Developing news from KXAN News.
Mark Allen Norwood arrested this morning for a cold case murder. Christine Morton was killed in her Round Rock home back in 1986.
And it was that murder that sent the wrong man to prison for 25 years. That man was her husband, Michael Morton. He was released just a month ago when new DNA evidence set him free.
Our Shannon Williamson has been following this case and joins us live with these new developments.
Big development today in this case. Obviously very emotional for a lot of people. We're going to hear from them in just a few minutes. First, it is important to remember that it was DNA that led authorities to Mark Norwood. His DNA just recently discovered on a bloody bandana found near the Morton home back in 1986. And that DNA was mixed with Christine Morton's. Her husband Michael's attorneys have been fighting to have that bandana tested for the last 6 years. We spoke to one of those attorneys, John Rayleigh, by phone this afternoon, shortly after he had spoken to Michael Morton.
He's very relieved that the man whose DNA was on the bloody bandana has been brought into custody, has been arrested.
What did he say, John?
He's thrilled, and this is going to be a really important healing time for his family as well.
You'll remember Michael Morton was released just last month after those DNA tests proved he was not the killer. Norwood is now charged with capital murder in the Morton case. But you'll remember court documents said his DNA was also found at the scene of a cold case murder in Austin. The daughter of that victim, Deborah Baker, told us this today. Her name is Caitlin Baker. She said, "We were told of the arrest in the Morton case earlier this morning. We are very, very happy and unbelievably thankful." Now, Norwood, you remember, has not been charged in the Deborah Baker case, and prosecutors in Travis County told us today they were just told about this arrest today, but their investigation into the Baker case is still ongoing. Now, Mark Norwood has a long criminal history. Our Chris Sadeghi has been digging into that part of this story. Chris?
Norwood was booked here at this jail just a few hours ago after he was picked up at his mother's home in Bastrop. Deputies say that he was not expecting them to show up, but he went without a fight. Now Norwood is charged with capital murder in the death of Christine Morton back in 1986. A surety felony bond is set at $750,000. Public information shows he has family in Bastrop and that he went to school at Crockett High in Austin, dropping out in the 11th grade. And he would develop a long criminal history. You can see the two mugshots right there, one taken back in the 80s. He faced charges in Tennessee, California, and Texas, including an assault with intent to commit murder charge in 1983. But as Shannon alluded to, this whole case turned on DNA evidence, specifically a bandana found at the murder scene. Once the DNA was tested, investigators interviewed Norwood, and from there got their probable cause to arrest him.
On August 26, 2011, Norwood informed detectives that he lived in the Austin area in 1986 and worked as a carpet layer. Norwood provided detectives with no innocent explanation for why his DNA would be on the bandana with blood and hair from Christine Morton.
And you heard Shannon mention the name Deborah Baker. The question was raised as to whether or not Norwood would face charges in that murder. Williamson County deputies declined to comment. They say that is not their case. They did not investigate it. That murder was investigated by Austin police. We're live in Georgetown. Chris Sadeghi, KXAN News.
Thank you so much, Chris. So we have continuing coverage on KXAN News at 10 tonight. We talked exclusively to Norwood's mother in Bastrop. Hear what she had to say about today's arrest.